Welcome to the Very Okay podcast.
What's up, YouTube? Mediocre returns.
You sound like a quarterback. Now it's it. Ready?
All right.
All right, we ready?
Yeah, we're running.
All right.
Running it up.
Do the intro.
Type shit. Welcome to the White Line podcast.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Episode 3.
About to get sauce today.
That's it.
No jism.
I don't even know what that means, but we're gonna get it.
No, we're not going to get it. No jism. No jism juice.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, God.
Yeah. Pause.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so today we're gonna talk about game. All things involving game. We're gonna try to cover the whole topic as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably miss some shit. It runs deep. But
Probably a lot
we
of
run
shit.
deeper. Pause.
Pause. Run deep, not wide. But yeah, we'll touch on the going deep and not wide part.
We have to. This
Pause.
is like the next time. We're going to redo this whole thing now. Just like last time. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, enough with the homosexual talk here that we have going on. So we wrote down a few points. We're going to cover them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll see where this takes us. So first note we have here, cold approaching.
It's a good one.
If you don't know what cold approaching is, lift up the rock and see the rest of the world. But cold approaching is referring to you see a girl, never talked to her before, you just go up to her, spark up a convo
Pretty much.
in a more sexual manner. Don't be your friend.
Yeah. It's with the intention of, trying to get her number and take it somewhere else. Or it could be like for fun, but the intention is to make it a more than friendship relationship,
Yeah, so off rip, you're already in a losing battle when you're going up to a girl that hasn't really noticed you. So first tip that I always give, wait till you get choosing signals before you actually go up to a girl. I've done this without choosing signals. You probably have depending on who you are, if you don't get choosing signals, you probably have a 50-50 chance.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding she's relatively in your league. If she is giving you choosing signals, as long as you don't say anything retarded, I would say you have an 85% chance
Yeah.
of at least getting the number.
Yeah.
But to get good at it, you don't really need to have choosing signals. It's just a recommendation. So I usually just look, if they're eyeballing you, they keep glancing over, they keep walking past you, you'll know. You'll know when a girl's looking at you because really girls are afraid of men for the most part. The feminists aren't going to like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, damn, bro, World War IV.
Type shit. That's what it's like living next to the hospital.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost got murked by an ambulance on the way here. Just Matrix that shit.
Yeah.
So we should wait.
Yeah. And I'm not cutting this part out.
No, not cutting. Anyway, where was I? Fucking ambulance.
Cold approaching and your percentages.
Oh, yeah. So I was saying when you cold approach to look for the choosing signals. So yeah, if a girl keeps looking over or she keeps walking past you, they make it very obvious. If a girl's not interested, she will not look at you. Don't think because a girl just glanced over real quick that she's interested in you. They make it very, very obvious. So you should know.
Sometimes. You know when you also have the group of girls that don't look at you because they're too nervous to have eye contact. And you won't notice it. It's like when your boy is like, yo, she's looking at you. And then when you look, it's like, it's one of those. So it kind of depends. It depends sometimes.
But granted, I don't go up to those women.
Because you didn't see it.
I didn't see it. And imagine I go over thinking this girl's really eyeing me and she's I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck away from me. Then I'm just gonna be tight up my boy.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Also too, if she's afraid to look at you, she's gonna be really afraid when you come up to her. So that's probably not the best move. But
that's facts though.
All right, so off rip 2, you don't want to over validate because, like I said, you're already in the losing battle. She's never spoken to you before.
All right. Start from square one.
Square one.
Say you're on the street, or we'll just go to the mall because that's the best example for everybody. We're at the mall, and let's first assume that you're dolo, or maybe you're with like one friend. What's the first step into cold approaching?
Okay, so you don't want to greet a woman from behind. Usually I like it from behind, but not in that aspect. So usually it's just you guys are walking, she starts looking. You get 2 seconds to make that call. You don't want to, they can see my hands. If this is you and this is her, you don't want to be like this, bitch out, and then be like, oh, wait, excuse me. No.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
That's terrible.
You want to stop right here. So I don't like to overvalidate. If you're a real confident man, they could sense it. Authenticity is the most attractive thing. As long as you're not coming from a sense of scarcity, you can tell her she's beautiful, but I don't really recommend it because you're already in a losing battle. Like you're the one going out of your way to talk to a girl because you found her that attractive. I usually say, excuse me, I just saw you walking past and you caught my eye. I had to get to know you. I'm Don. Shake her hand. Hold her hand for a little longer than you should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kayla. Like, oh, Kayla.
That's definitely good. And if you're white, that'll work amazing for you. Now, if you're a black dude and you're walking up to pretty much any girl,
pistol whipper.
Pretty much. You gotta first, at home, the cold approach process starts with drawing on tattoos. You gotta draw on as many tattoos as you can. And then you're gonna buy an SRT key, like a Dodge Challenger or Charger key, and then just like kind of like dangle it around, just kind of have that shit.
It's kind of like catnip.
Exactly. It's like catnip, and then you basically just go like, "What's popping?" or "What's cracking?" over and over again, and then eventually they'll just be like, "Oh hey, like no, I thought you were cute." But realistically, if you're a black guy and you're cold approaching or whatever, the biggest part about it really doesn't matter if you're validating or not. It's just about the frame that you hold, especially. It doesn't have to be a thug frame or a gangster frame, but what it does have to be is like a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
You definitely have to be a little bit aggressive. You can't
be direct.
Super direct. So like if we're going back to, back in the day when I used to do that stuff, it would just kind of like he said, you don't really want to approach somebody from behind. But one thing that I did do is if I was being too much of a bitch within that 2 seconds, I would call a bitch over. I wouldn't chase her down, but I would be like...
That's the ultimate black man move.
Exactly. I would just be like, yo, mama, come over here or something like that. And then they would motherfucking like swing back.
So true.
Yeah, they would swing back and then be like, hey, or whatever. And it's like, because I knew that if I'm walking up behind a bitch, that just seems creepy. Like you can't do that. Like, especially 2024, you can't just walk up behind a bitch. And especially if you're like trying to tap her on her shoulder or some shit, don't ever
tap her because she'll jump. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get to know you. Like, I'm in a rush.
That is like, I made that mistake maybe senior year or 11th grade or something. Worst thing you could ever do, bro.
It's so true.
Worst thing you could ever do is touch a girl unwarranted, bro. Yeah. Like, even if it's like innocent, like a shoulder tap or like anything, bro, don't even fucking do it. But at a certain point, I was like, all right, I'm just call the bitch over instead. Yeah. Because like it does one of two things. It holds a frame to where I'm making her come to me. That's one thing. And two, I'm not being invasive and intrusive of her space involuntarily. Like she's allowing me in her space by coming over to me.
Yeah. And she's choosing to speak.
Exactly.
She can just be like, nah.
Pretty much. And to your point with your statistic, like the 50% if there aren't choosing signals, or 85 if you have it, I think if you have enough assets, you don't have to have choosing signals. Like if you say, for instance, okay, first you got to take into account your environment, right? I'm in a mainly Jewish fucking community. They don't date outside their race. Like they all just, like I wouldn't even try it. But say you're in a spot where you know that you're the person's overall type. Like you might be the same race as them or, shit like that. You have to, if you have like the assets needed to attract them being, the bare minimum, like 5'11", 5'10", maybe some muscle, you look good to a degree, and you have a nice voice, which has always been my like secret sauce and shit, it's hard to lose, Even if they don't text you back, you'll get the number, bro, or you'll create something. Like I remember over maybe like the past maybe the past 3 years, like the times that I have gone out, just having that frame, like that, hey, how you doing? That kind of thing. Like basically fucking 90%.
Yeah.
Like
it's also you.
It's me, but right. Like it's achievable
if
to
any
anybody.
man did that,
yeah,
they'd be okay.
Yeah, exactly. But most dudes don't have the awareness or the belief almost that it's possible.
Yeah. It's hard to, when you've never done something like that, it's hard to picture yourself being someone to do it. Mm-hmm. So when you're in that stage where you haven't done it yet, or you have done it and it hasn't gone really smoothly, you have to view yourself as someone who does it really good. Literally pretend like you've done this a million times.
Fake it till you make it.
You fake it till you make it, and then eventually you turn around one day and you're like, "Oh, I am him." Like I
exactly.
Yeah, and that's the best way to get over it. I wanted to touch on something else that you were saying. What was the last thing you just
about the frame? Black guys, white guys.
Yeah.
Knowing your environment.
Oh, right. Another thing too, we live in such a social media dominant age right now.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these girls haven't been approached, or they haven't been approached well. The only time they've really been approached is at like clubs and bars, but that barely counts because it's like music's blasting. You kind of just, it's all club game is all kind of just body language. Ask a girl's name, be like, yo, you want to dance? She finds you attractive, she'll dance with you. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really run deeper than that. But the fact that you have the confidence to go up to her and do it smoothly without like being all shaky, you just went above everyone in her phone. Because she just, like most of these men that she meets, not even me, most of these men that she texts that are sliding into her DMs or hitting her up on her Tinder account with like 50 messages, she'll never see them and she never has seen them. It's kind of like how girls will always get with the guy from high school before they get with the random. Because that's part of they've seen them physically. There's something about knowing what somebody's presence is like that does something to a female. So the fact that you actually go up to her, the guy she was just texting for a month straight and hasn't even let him link, you just went above.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
She'll answer you first.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously my experience is a bit different with that, especially because most of my game is online game. Because
mine too.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to go out and, it just was never like really advantageous for me to do it. Like if my goal was really to just run through some shit,
start cracking.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. And like it just, you're really taking up a lot of your time doing that. Especially if you're going out with that as your purpose, bro. Like if you're if you're going out to the mall and like, I'm going to the mall to find bitches, that's a waste of your fucking time. Like you're literally allocating your precious time to trying
to go walk. It's kind of sad.
It's really sad.
It is sad, but if you're young or you just never done it before, you kind of need to dedicate a little time to that. But after a while, it's like, all right, bro, stay inside.
It's essential in the growing process. Yeah. But if you're like, 30, 40 and like you're going, bro,
that's crazy.
I mean, like, if you're going to do it, like you said, like go to a bar or club and, do shit on your off time, like on your off hours, not like as an activity like that
this
you do.
Really funny to think about.
Yeah. Like, shit is crazy because like there's still big like adult dudes that do it too. Like,
yeah.
That are like, we're going to go out to the mall where kids go to or like, walk around the city. I remember I saw this video online of like these two older black dudes that were like walking around Miami, like just basically catcalling. And I'm like, yo, like that's what you do on your
respect.
Yeah, they're just pretty much like, oh, mommy, and they're supposed to be dating experts, and they weren't getting none. They were like balding.
That's kind of
yeah, they were balding and like, just like being real cringy and shit. And I'm like, yo, like that's how you're spending your time is.
Yeah.
And
I agree too. Like, as someone who nowadays I don't really go out that much.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go out like on the weekend, maybe once a month or something like that. I really don't have time, or it's just not even, when I don't have time, but it's also my day-to-day life. I'm working till 3:30 every day, basically. And then I go to the gym. I don't run down on the gym. I don't suggest anyone do that unless you are like 100% sure this is a hit. Because if it's not a hit, it's going to be bad. It's going to be real weird when you go to the gym.
Yeah. And also, you're going to force that person to switch gyms. And it's happened to me before where I went up to somebody and I never saw him again.
Yeah.
I never saw him again at the gym. I'm like, damn, I really made this person like switch their whole shit.
That's a place too where they have so many guys that are like hitting on them. You're there to work out. They're already dressed half naked. They probably feel mad uncomfortable already.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. There's so many options. There's so many women. There's so many places you could go to. Leave it out of the fucking gym. Unless you've like already talked to this girl and you're like, you went up to her one time. You're like, yo, like how many sets you got, whatever, or like what's that exercise? Something like that.
Yeah.
But definitely don't cold approach at the gym. I don't support that.
Yeah.
But
that's tough. But there are some good places you could go though. Like if you're like an adult, above, we'll say 20, there are some good places you can go. My top pick would always be Target. just because
they're find the waves.
Yeah.
Target.
Yeah, they're there.
If you go to Walmart, you'll find Gorlock the store.
Yeah, and then definitely like street type of stuff. Like if you're really like desperate on trying to find some shit, you can go on Eventbrite and see like what type of local events are going on, like festivals and like they have like a Spanish day or shit like that. You would love that.
Made this website.
Yeah. Yeah, but especially like if you're in a city area, that's like the best bet is just to try to find events and then go up to people there.
Yeah, for sure. And what I was saying before too, I do most of my dating, I guess you'd call it, on dating apps at this point, or I don't even slide into DMs. Like, I just wait for the story like, and then I'll slide into DM, something like that. I never cold slide into a DM for the most part. That's kind of weird, unless you get a signal. But as someone who does that, this is the next topic that actually branched out perfect. Texting. My best advice for texting is don't do it. Really. Like, calls are number one. Actually, FaceTime is even better as long as you're not like actually beat. FaceTiming is usually better. And the key, you already know what the secret sauce is. I'm going to let you say it because I know you know.
Voice memos? Yeah, that was my secret. That was my secret sauce, bro.
Oh yeah, it's a secret sauce, bro. Send the voice memo,
bro. Like the voice memos. And here's the thing about voice memos is that, especially when you're first starting talking to somebody. That's my cat. Hold on.
Oh shit, Michael Jackson's an outdoor cat.
Yo, you ask that every single time,
bro. You know I have dementia. You can't say that to me. Make me feel bad about myself.
Nah,
disability.
Oh shit, but oh yeah, voice memos, especially when you first start talking to somebody, don't overdo it. Don't send. Okay, you might want to send a voice message every single time. Just, damn, that motherfucker's upset.
Piss him off.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on in the world right now.
All right, yeah. All right, so in terms of the voice memos and shit, you don't want to overdo it initially when you start talking to somebody, right? Because some people will find it cringy if you overdo it. But what I will say is, don't text a person too often in the first place. Like, don't be like all up on their dick and shit. Just kind of, you know.
I would say match whatever they're doing, but don't make it too obvious. If they take 2 hours to answer you, take 2 hours to answer.
Mm-hmm.
And if they answer back in 10 minutes, answer back in like 20.
Yeah.
Just kind of match the energy. You know, if they take mad long, just take mad long.
That's a good point. I think what I would say, I mean, I guess it's different when you're actively looking for something. But what I would also say is like, fucking answer like when you can, bro. Like, hopefully your day is busy and packed enough to where you don't have to answer. But like, if you're busy, bro, just answer like when you can. Like, if it's 9 a.m. in the morning, send a text. And then if it's 10 p.m., like, just be like, just got home from work, bitch. Like, exactly, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And when I give that advice, that's assuming that you don't really have much going on and you could probably answer all the time. But the goal is, like, we always know, like, purpose is number one.
Yeah.
It should just come natural. You shouldn't be on your phone that much to answer. You should be doing a podcast for like an hour and 15 minutes and then answer.
Yeah.
There we go. Michael Jackson's still going crazy.
Yeah, she's going crazy. I don't know what her problem is. But yeah, texting. I think I don't really have much more to add to texting. Voice memos.
No, there's a lot we could do. There's also texting to set up dates.
Okay, you do that shit.
All right. While he's taking care of the cat for the 4th time today. Texting to set up dates. Women don't want you to not have order, and they need structure so they know what's going on. If you tell them like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna take you out Thursday, maybe like 8 o'clock. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear like a big gap. Be like, yo, I want to take you out to this place at 7 o'clock on Thursday. Or better yet, if you don't have the confidence to say that yet, what you could also do, and there's 2 options. You could directly ask like that, or you could just lend them an offer in case you think she's going to flake. Be like, yo, at 8 o'clock, I'm going here. If you want to come with, you're welcome. That way, even if she flakes on you, you're still going to go to this place and have a pretty good time. Regardless if she's there, you're still going out. Because if she flakes on you, then she knows that you're sitting at home with your dick in your hand because she just canceled on you and you have nothing going on for the rest of the night now. So I just give them a direct time. And if they're not there, well, I'm gonna wait for him to get to that. But yeah, we got some advice if they get a little flaky. But oh yeah, so in a more basic sense of texting, voice memos are best. Phone calls, FaceTime are best. You could send a text every now and then. Like a good morning is fine. Like if she says it or whatever, stuff like that. Keep it short and sweet. You know, don't be texting them paragraphs or whatever. It's weird. It's really weird. If you have a lot to say, send them a voice message. So yeah, I think that kind of covers it for texting. But I was gonna branch. I was waiting for you to get back to how to deal with flaking.
Flaking.
Yeah. Hear what you have to say. Just cross these off as we kind of go through.
Mm-hmm. I'd say for me, is really just make the initial date, I guess, as low investment as possible.
That's basically what I was saying when you were going to.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, I know for myself, I never really took a bitch out like on a date or anything like that. Like it was always just either I'm coming to your crib, you're coming to my crib, or like we're going on a fucking walk in the park, bro.
There's always that.
Yeah, like it's never been some type of, you know, let's go do something, especially on the first date, because you didn't earn it, bitch. Like the fuck I'm going to take you somewhere for, you know? And some dudes, that's their game. Like they might, you know, take a bitch out and spoil her to try to get to the V box. But I was never like that. It was just kind of like, look, you don't deserve jack shit from me, so I'm not going to give you shit.
Yeah, and granted too, depends what you're looking for. If you really want to take a girl serious, you should probably take her out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you don't gotta take her to the best restaurant in town, but go to a diner, like go chill, go talk somewhere, go to a bar.
If you know she's worth it.
Yeah, if you know she's worth it. But if you're just trying to sleep with a girl, I've had girls that I'm just trying to sleep with, and they're, you know, you kind of got to put in a little more effort for them.
Mm-hmm.
I've had them tell me, they're like, yo, like I want to with you.
Yeah.
But I can't just like come over like that, you know? Like we have to go out.
Yeah.
I usually just don't fuck with them anymore.
Yeah, no.
But to be honest, but yeah, that's like the truth. I just I just get rid of them. Like, all right, have a good one.
I think the best way to combat flaking is just do something that you're already doing and bring somebody along.
I literally said that.
You did?
I said best way to combat it if you really think she's gonna flake. Because I was saying like first thing I said, well, just do a quick review in case you missed it, is you have two options. Women all like they want structure, they want order. They want you to tell them when you're gonna be there on what day. Don't be like, maybe Thursday I'll text you and it would be between this time and this. Like, no, you'd be like, yo, Thursday night at 7, I'll pick you up. We're gonna go here. Yeah. That's option 1. Option 2, which is the safe method, in case you really think she's gonna flake, like a high interest girl, you usually don't have to do this with. Be like, yo, I'm going here at 8 o'clock. You're welcome to pop out if you want. Because that way, in the case she flakes on you, even if you're not going to go there without her, she could just use her imagination and think that you're there.
Yeah.
You're not sitting at home doing nothing for the rest of the night because she canceled on you. Like you're going out and enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
She thinks.
Yeah.
So I did.
That's an amazing point. Yeah. So definitely do shit like that you're already doing. Now, my personal game would be fucking like, I'm going grocery shopping, bitch. Like, pull up. Because
that's some real black man shit.
Nah, because it's like, it's the least, but it's, for me, bro, it's because I'm more introverted and I don't like to actually do activities.
That's true.
Like, you know, parties, like, you know, say 4th of July is coming up. I wouldn't be going to a 4th of July party and be like, hey, I'm going to this party, like, come with me. Yeah. It would just be like, bitch, I'm going to like fucking Pathmark. That's just closed now.
Also destroy the purpose though. Like, I hate when girls are like, yo, take me to a club. I'm like, I'm not going to the club. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to the club. Like, like, why the fuck would I do that?
Yeah, exactly. You know? Exactly. So, yeah, definitely take a bitch to wherever you're going.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the next one?
was gonna add something to that. I don't remember. I actually have like short-term memory loss today. Okay. So this is like what I was gonna say, because one of our topics is like taking girls on dates.
Mm-hmm.
Never bring a girl to the movies, for God's sake. Never do that. That's the worst date you could ever do. Unless you already been with the girl and you just want to go see a movie. That's okay, because then you're just laid up, you're probably horned up, whatever. That's fine. Maybe she gives you a little rub and tug while you're watching Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's a great time. But yeah, I don't recommend movies for the first date because you can't really talk to the girl. You're kind of just like sitting there next to each other. It's not weird, but it's like you're not going to make any sort of impression on her. Food is okay. Like, food's cool. I'm giving away my free game.
Nobody's gonna use it anyways because they're too lazy to. They don't even know how to pull enough pictures.
No, they're gonna use this, bro.
Yeah.
First date with a girl. I find it too. It takes a lot of the social anxiety off if you're suffering from that. If you do an activity with her, I take girls to mini golf, and we have the best fucking time, and it's like $10.
That's a good one.
You just bring her to mini golf. You fucking cook her in golf. You could rip on her the whole time. You just tease her, make her feel like stupid. Yeah. She's like hysterical laughing because she's horrible. I've been doing this. I'm pretty gross at mini golf. That's usually like, if I take a girl to mini golf, I'm hitting. That's like rule of thumb.
If I take her to mini golf,
it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's looking quiet.
That's a good one though. That's a good one.
Yeah, I do stuff like that. Arcades are great. If you take her to Dave and Buster's first date,
yeah,
that's a good ass time, and you have fun.
Yeah,
it's like you're not sitting there like boring. Like, oh, so tell me about, what's your job like? It's like you have something else to focus on that you guys could bond with together. And then the whole like teamwork thing when you're playing games, works like a fucking charm.
Interesting.
Works like a charm. They don't tell you about that though.
No, I mean, they don't. I mean, I don't know if I would use that just because that's already too much investment initially for me, just because like
I only do that with certain girls.
I would have to already be interested in you, like in like who you are as a person. Because like, am I really gonna subject myself to a whole fucking game of mini golf with somebody that I'm like, I don't even fucking like you. I want to just hit that. Yeah. Like I wouldn't. So I would do it just with somebody that I really fuck with already, and then bust the shit down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Before we get into crossed out dates now, I think we covered enough of that. Before we get into anything else, we got to cover like frame and tone a little more, because we kind of only said when you're cold approaching, like, keep it cool, like, obviously. So I want to touch on frame and tone. One thing I use, and I always saw it when I was younger, but I had like absolutely no game at that point. You'd always see like the guys like, I don't say like harass the girls, but the guys who would like bully all the girls in high school, like they would love it.
Yeah.
It's called like the Big Brother method. It sounds really fucking weird.
I actually never heard that name before.
Yeah, it's like the Big Brother method. So it's like you kind of treat her like, this sounds so fucking weird, but in a playful way, you treat her like a younger sibling. Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a crazy statement. But you just can't take her too serious. You just tease her, whatever. And just keep it calm and playful. Obviously, it's gonna, depending on who you are, it's gonna vary.
Yeah. For
Black men, it's probably a bit different. You got to keep it a little more like hood.
Yeah.
Like not as like playful. The last thing you want to be is a dancing monkey. Yeah. That's what we call like when you do way too much for a girl's entertainment and you're just jumping around and you make yourself look like a jackass. You don't want to fucking do that. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That'll dry her up in 2 seconds.
Pretty much.
But you should have some lines. Like, yeah, I'm full of lines.
Yeah, you have them all.
I have a line for like everything. Just say a few one-liners. They usually just eat that shit up. Don't say too much. Don't say too little. Just enough. And you got to maintain some form of mystery about yourself. Just don't give her your life story off rip.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure all the focus is kind of getting to know her and let her do most of the talking. Because if you actually know how to carry a convo, women are not hard to talk to. They're actually much easier to talk to because they don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's really true. And to your point with keeping a little bit of mystery, I remember for a period of time, actually a long ass period of time, maybe like a year or two, I used to never tell bitches my name, like at all. You don't remember that?
No,
you remember.
I forgot that was a thing, and it's also like I would never do that, but that's really funny,
bro. Like I never told them my name, and I would still be cracking it, bro. Like there were at least. I won't give a specific number because, I don't know who's going to watch it, but it's like there were a decent amount that didn't know my name
to this day.
To this day. And like they just know me by my old Instagram account. They just know it's Sadly Karma or whatever. And like honestly, it saved me a couple of times where I was probably in a situation where I shouldn't have been in, but it's like the bitch didn't know my name, so who the fuck am I? Like, it's just like, it's just this black guy, so it helps in a lot of different ways. And like, of course, like bitches would always ask me like, why won't you tell me your name? Or like, like different shit. Like we talked the other day about the whole body count thing. Like, what's your body count? All that kind of stuff. Just never would give away anything about myself. Yeah. Like nothing.
Yeah. I always too, like, I read a bit and like, girls freak out when they find out I read. It's really weird because they probably think I'm like retarded, which I am. But they like freak out when they see like a tattoo man that reads. And I also like, I play a little guitar.
Yeah.
If I ever FaceTime them.
Oh yeah, I'm just guitar.
Well, they'll just see it. They'll see the guitar.
Yeah.
They're like, you play guitar?
I'm like,
like, is that a bookshelf? I'm like, yeah. Like, you read? I'm like, yeah, I read a good amount. They're like, what do you read? Just read. I just read stuff.
Yeah.
They just don't, they don't have to know. Yeah. Think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one way, I guess, maintain a bit of mystery or whatever.
Also, again, like everything always goes back to race because it's so important when, speaking about dating, but like a white man's frame, like your boy that was going crazy, his shit is probably very different. Very playful, very goofy. Not goofy as in it's goofy ass nigga, but like goofy as in like we're having a fun time.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. And then black guys, it's just kind of like, always like, hey, like how you doing, mama? Like just like real chill and just like 24/7, same thing, And
I think I don't really speak too much for like Spanish guys, but I would assume it's more as far as like party settings, they could all dance. They're all dancing. It's kind of stuff like that, and then just like being cool. It's kind of like a mix.
It is. It really is. It's really a mix.
You gotta have both.
Yeah.
You gotta be a good time, but still be really kind of mellow.
Yeah.
When you're actually spoken to.
It's almost like intoxicants, right? Black guys smoke, white guys drink hard liquor, and then fucking Spanish people drink Coronas and shit.
That me up. That was crazy.
No, but literally, it's a perfect representation of it.
That's how they act. Like
really, really.
Weed mellows you out.
Yeah.
Alcohol makes you like a little,
Yeah.
And then beer is kind of a mix.
Yeah. So
that's pretty funny.
But yeah, for sure. But there's definitely, you got to take that into account when you think about your own game. When you think about your own game and everything, where do you lie within the spectrum of nigga to white, And you got to play accordingly.
Yeah, and it's also the tone is really important because you can say something one way and it turns them off, and you can say something another way and it turns them on. Michael Jackson. Yeah, so it's just how you say things. There's a method called talking down. So you'll notice if you're ever in a situation where you get nervous, I fucking clear my throat. Give me 1 sec. We'll get there. If you're in a situation where you get nervous, you tense up and your voice gets a little higher. But there's something called talking down, where at the end of your sentences, your voice gets your voice gets relatively slower, and it's just a more eased. So like if I was gonna say, oh, I really like your dress. This is how you would say it if you were tensed up. Oh, I really like your dress. That's not how you do it. Like, yo, I really like your dress.
Yeah.
Just slow down at the end of the sentence and, just drop your voice a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about tone right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was giving them, like talking down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was going over that.
We like your dress?
Yeah. Golly.
Yeah. And if you're Black, never say what it is that you like. You just say those, thems, or it's like, I fuck with your shit. Like, like she got like nice, she got a nice dress on. Yo, I fuck with your shit. Like, it looks cool,
Yeah, I also, so this kind of goes back to not over validating. When you compliment a girl, because at a certain point you have to compliment her. You don't want to make it so nonchalant that she just thinks you like don't give a fuck about her. And this is when you're already kind of seeing her or whatever. You eventually have to give her compliments. This is called feeding them scraps.
Yeah.
You'll never give her the whole chocolate bar, but she could get a Hershey kiss. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Don't be like, oh my God, your smile is so beautiful. Oh, your eyes. Be like, is that a new dress? Like, oh yeah, you're rocking that. This man just disappears. He's like Batman. No, you're good, bro. I don't care. So yeah, just don't over compliment. Feed them, throw them some scraps. Just give them a little, just enough that they're like, okay, yeah, he does kind of like me, but not enough where they're like, okay, like calm down. We're not getting married yet. I think I'm gonna wait this one out. Gather my thoughts. Let's see. Oh, before I forget, one thing I want to cover. Mm-hmm. Is that your car going on?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right. We're going to talk about keeping convos going with girls. Just add this. Nerve of this man. So he just doesn't care. If any girls are watching this, they're probably like, oh my God, like Niall doesn't give a fuck. That's so hot. He just walks out on his own podcast. This kid has no remorse for human life. I'm sitting here basically drawing. Lord. Oh, he's back. The Messiah.
Yeah, it's been tweaking out. I was actually in North Bath fucking 2 days ago, and I got locked out of the car.
Oh,
and they opened it, and it's been kind of like acting real funny since then.
Oh, it just keeps going off.
Yeah.
Word. That ain't it.
Yeah.
Yo, so one thing I wanted to talk about too, we didn't write this down, keeping convos going
Okay.
when you're talking to a girl. So say, all right, we'll use this situation. Say you're just meeting up with a girl. You should probably have a few things that you want to talk about, at least store it in the back of your head. Like, I'm not being arrogant, but I'm at the point right now where I don't really need to think about like, oh, what am I gonna say? But if you know that you're kind of new to this, that's fine. If you have to like write it down and be like, here are topics of discussion. Okay, that's fine. Basically, you want to milk the fuck out of every single subject that you can get. So what a lot of guys do is they ask like close-ended questions. They'll be like, do you like chocolate? Girl's like, yes. Like, oh, cool.
That was a great impersonation of an autistic person.
Yeah, but that's what it is. You gotta. So say you ask a girl like where she's from. Okay, that's like basic, right? Like, okay, where are you from? Oh, I'm from the city. I'm like, oh yeah, like where did you go to school? Like, I went here. Like most guys would just be like, oh, cool. Man like me, I'm like, oh, what was it like going there? Then she starts rambling about what her school was like. And then you're like, yeah, a lot of people in high school are fake, aren't they? Like, what do you think made you stand out from them?
Yeah.
Like, why were you different? And then they're just like, oh my God.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you just kind of have to like milk every topic you could get until it's dead. And then you're like, all right. So do you work? Like, oh, okay, where do you work? And you just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
I would say for keeping the convo going, if you're really not great at it yet, talk while you're doing shit so that you are able to backtrack to what you're doing so that you have time to think about whatever it is that you want to do.
That's why I tell you, go to Dave & Buster's or go play on the first. You have to have something else going on.
Yeah.
Because if you're just sitting there at a table with them, you can't really.
You can't avoid the awkward silence.
You can't avoid. And yo, this is another thing. If there is awkward silence, do not be afraid of the silence.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
That's a good one.
Because what happens is if you start to get afraid of the silence, you start to become a dancing monkey so she doesn't get bored. Yo, that bitch could talk too. She could think of a convo too. You don't have to milk every fucking question out of her. Like, yo, if she's being... Sometimes they'll test you like that.
Yeah.
Don't force a convo out of her. Sometimes you just got to let her...
And you know what? Yeah. Actually, to that point now, if you're like sitting across the table from, you know, a girl on a date and stuff, it may be a little bit harder, but I know when I would have, you know, a lady friend come to my house or whatever, and I didn't have anything to say, but there was that awkward silence, I wouldn't try to fill it in with words. I would try to break the touch barrier at that point. You know, just kind of like, you know, play with somebody's hand or like their hair or some shit and like ease into it. And it's like, that's almost like, you know, having an activity to do, but it's also...
It's an activity.
Yeah, it's an activity, but it's like, it's keeping shit engaging and engaged, you know, like you're keeping shit going without having to speak. It's like, okay, we're speaking without even saying shit, you know, and then you can think about, you know, some new shit to say.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely works too. What I can say. Oh yeah, because you were saying sitting at a table.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I always do:
sit next to the bitch.
Sit right next to her.
Sit next to the bitch.
Sitting across is cool. Like, yo, if you're at like a really fancy restaurant, they put like a candle in front. All right, sit across, you know. But if you guys go to like a regular food place or, you know, something not that crazy, just right next to her,
Yeah.
and that helps break the
100%,
touch barrier.
100%.
And you're not having that like awkward eye to eye.
Yeah.
You know, just like beaming at each other while you're asking your questions. You know, if you have nothing to say, you could just like look straight and like look at the menu.
Now let me ask you this: are you more? This is like really like unrelated, but are you more of a booth kind of guy or a table kind of guy? Booth.
Yeah, for
booth.
sure. Way more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you could actually like get
Yeah.
on top of each other,
Yeah.
basically. On the booth. Table is like you fucking pull the chair over and start screeching. You're like, all right, sorry.
No, yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's it for keeping convos going. Just milk every topic you can get.
Go deep, not wide.
Yeah, go deep, full circle.
Yeah.
Go deep, not wide. Yeah. So that's what I would say for that. So all right, let's cross this off. We're almost done.
We touched on retaining?
No, that's the next. Yeah, I'm gonna see how. Oh, we still have standards. I don't know if you want to cover that real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Then we'll get, because these three go together.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just in terms of who you're approaching and who you're going after, you gotta like fucking know what you can get so that your success rate is higher. I mean, if you want to go for all dime pieces, bro, by all means you can. But it's like, what is fuck, I forget the saying, but it's like, if you're an 8 as a guy, you will get infinite 6s, maybe some 7s and 5s and all that. But it's going to be a lot harder to get other 8s and 9s and 10s. So when it comes to your standard, build yourself up to as high as you can, because all the ones below that is a feast for you, my guy.
Yeah, exactly. The women usually date about 2 levels up.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. If you're a man and you're an 8, you can pull a 9. Maybe you get really, really lucky and you pull a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you get lucky and pull an 8. But the dynamic will never be what you want it to be.
Yeah.
They'll always treat you like less because you are. Look, we've all fucked some ugly hoes in our day. Nobody treats you better than a fat bitch.
In terms of what? Because I've never even like spent enough time with a fat bitch to know if they treat you well or not.
Oh, well, just like, oh yeah, me either. No.
I've never really like had a conversation with them or some shit.
Oh, to be honest with you, I've probably only like actually fucked like two girls where and they're not like, they're not like fat, but I'm like, you lose some fucking weight for sure. But like, as far as responding and like, yo, the validation these fat girls be giving you.
You know what? Yeah.
They're just like, I'd do anything for you.
Yeah.
But yo, it's crazy because, so say I'm an 8 and they're 5s. Say they're 5s. For me to get treated like that by an 8, I'd basically have to be an 11.
Yeah.
That's how fucking inflated the game is right now.
Yeah.
It'll never happen. Like, to be honest with, I don't want to say that.
I don't know.
It's just very rare. I've been treated very well by like some girls on my level before.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that's because I'm 20 and like most of the guys that are my age are sherm.
Yeah, that too. But also you have to realize for your age, you're like a 9, 10.
You think so? I don't think
you still drive a Challenger, bro. It hasn't gone out yet. You got mad tattoos, bro. Like with that currently. Now, if the Challenger goes and then like, plus you got the buzz cut and everything, you gotta give yourself a bit more credit,
I would genuinely say, like, if I had to rate myself, I think I'm like an 8.5. I don't think I'm any more than that. Me personally, if I have to rate myself for like where I am in the dating market.
Nah, I give it a 9.
Really?
Yeah. I think the only thing that you might I think the only thing you might be missing is just like extra money, bro. And maybe like extra free time. I think that's something that should also be taken into account.
Yeah, that too. I could be a little more jacked though. That's definitely one. I'm jacked enough. But
Yeah.
Like, I could be more jacked for sure.
Like if you really look at not only the number stats, but you just go outside and see how you compare to everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, like you gotta take into account the entire dating market. Like if you're comparing yourself to celebrities and shit that, you know, are only less than 1% of the population.
Yo, to be honest with you, this gets me so mad. All these celebrities that girls are fangirling over gets me so tight. I would beat the dog shit out of MGK. I'd beat the dog shit of Tom Holland.
Oh,
Bro,
of course.
Who the fuck? I'm like, these guys are, that just shows you it's like women, it's the weirdest standards. I would beat the fuck out of Justin Bieber, bro.
Pretty much, bro.
Like, it's so crazy. And I'm bigger than him. Like, it's so weird.
The only factor is that they just have money and are famous. Like, that's literally...
Dude, I'm a hater. Like, I'm a fucking hater. I don't like that shit.
You know,
bro.
rightfully so, though. You know, like, why should one person be getting that much?
Yo, like, what, bro? Harry Styles? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, yo.
Nah, yeah.
God.
That's really like that kind of TikTok kind of niche, I guess you'd say. Like your boy, he kind of fits into that with the mustache. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that kind of thing is like, yeah, that kind of thing fucking fits into like the TikTok, you know, fetish niche type thing. Yeah, but
I'm such a hater.
But
you know what it is? You like put so much work in, and then you're like Pete Davidson, just fucking Kardashian. Like, what the fuck's happening? Okay, that's an Illuminati scheme, but we're not even gonna get into that.
You know what I've noticed though? Now, it might just be because like, you know, my ego is a little bit inflated and I have an outside perspective. But I genuinely think with the right approach, there's so much that you could like bag. Like even for myself, when I'm like just like viewing shit, I'm like, I could totally bag this bitch, you know? Like I could tell like in her eyes, she likes how I look.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. This is actually really, we didn't even write this, but this is a huge thing we need to cover.
Mm-hmm.
When you're actually like, when you become a handsome motherfucker, a lot of girls will turn you down because you're too attractive. Women want to feel pretty. They don't want their man to look better than them. That's why that girl that you really like ends up dating Kyle and he's like 140 pounds.
Yeah.
They have the security and they'll fuck guys like us. But if they're also like worried about their body count, maybe they already went through a hoe phase, they won't even touch us.
Yeah, that's really true.
You know, but they'll turn us down for him because they know he'll take her seriously.
Yeah.
And you have to keep in mind because that happened. I swear that happens to me like more often than not, especially to like, I'll have girls that I keep it casual with. And then, you know, we fall off and they get boyfriends and I just see their boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yo, if he knew like who I...
Yeah. Sometimes, bro, you get a little tempted or you're just like, what if I just told him like...
I feel...
I know you can, but it's like... It's like...
It would be kind of like satisfying.
Yeah. Not even just to hurt a dude because, you know... You don't want to hurt the dude, but it's like realize where your bitch has been. Yeah. Because like every guy has a little bit of a all right, here's the thing about dudes is that they don't want to know their girl's past, but they do a little bit deep down. It's terrifying. It's like you want to know, but you're like, I don't fucking want to know.
And yo, whatever you think it is, it's probably worse.
I think it's best to assume the worst.
Yeah.
And if it's better, fucking just thank God, bro.
Yeah, like if your girl tells you she has 2 bodies, assume it's 4. She has 4. It's like, says she has 15, assume it's like 30.
Yeah.
And then you just can't touch her no more.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. It's terrifying. Terrifying.
Super.
We'll never know. Never actually know.
No.
God help us.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yes, that's just one other big thing too. It's like when you got your shit together, it's intimidating. Like you're in shape. You know, you don't need tattoos, they help. You're in shape, you got tattoos, you're getting paid well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of girls will turn you down just because they're like, yo, I don't know if I could keep you. Or they're afraid you're gonna cheat because what happens is as a man, you spend your whole life losing. And then once you reach close to your prime or at your prime, now it's like, oh my God, now all the girls want me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just chained down to this one girl. And that's why guys cheat when they're good looking, because they've never had it. Girls, I think girls cheat less than men. I know nobody thinks that. I don't think girls cheat in the aspect, well, they'll like text people for validation.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking like actually fucking, guys do it way more than girls. Because girls are stingy with the pussy either way, bro. You know what I mean? They're not going to just give it up to someone they don't plan on dating or like just to do it. Like, nah, that guys slang their fucking dicks around. You know what I mean? What was I getting at?
Girls cheat more or less.
Oh, yeah. So it's like when you're a guy too, now it's like you've been in a relationship, you build yourself up so well, and now it's like, oh my God, like I'm turning down all these women for like this girl that I pulled back when I wasn't this good.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, that's a battle you have to fight. You got to make that choice for yourself. It's like, is she worth it to not go see what life has to offer? Like, because truthfully, you could do better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, do you play it humble or do you see what else you can get?
I think the best answer is just try, bro. Try everything. Like, because you could be, here's the way I think about it, is God gives you an opportunity to do anything. And it's like, if he gives you the opportunity to be with the bitch that is good for you, try it. And if it stops being good for you, then you can let it go. Like, there's no obligation to continue it. Yeah. But like, just make the effort to try,
I see it a lot too, where I've seen a lot of relationships where the guy is getting significantly better, but he doesn't know it because his girl won't allow him to know it. She'll like tear his ego down and like keep him in check so he doesn't think that he's getting too good for her. Girls do that. And guys do it too. Guys are constantly checking their girl's ego to make sure she's not, that she doesn't feel like she's too good for him. Mm-hmm. And that, that comes with like the over validation and like the scarcity mindset where it's like, once you're afraid to lose her, you already lost her.
Yeah.
And girls are usually afraid to lose their boyfriends. They're like, bro, a girl's biggest fear is that the man that they like stops liking them.
But you know what? It is so different because a man being insecure could be the end of a relationship. A woman being insecure will never be the end of a relationship. It's just,
to be honest with you, to some extent, because it's just the power dynamic. Mm-hmm. Regardless of what like feminism says, girls want their man to be better than them. She should always have some fear. It doesn't have to be unhealthy. I don't want to say fear, but it should be awareness that he could leave right now and just go get someone else that looks just like me or better.
Yeah.
They act better when that's the case. When it's like that with the guy, when a guy is like, she could replace me tomorrow, he acts in a way that turns her off because he's doing way too much. Because he stopped doing what got her in the first place.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So then he's like doing way too much. He's like over-validating her because he thinks that him going forward is going to bring her in, but really you're just pushing her away.
That is a great point, bro, because I did that shit over and over and over again in like high school relationships. And even after that, like I would realize, or you know what, there are a couple of points that I want to make, but one was like, I would pull them by being, you know, a little gangster now or whatever, and like, you know, playing that whole game. And I would revert back to like who I naturally am, which is just like a regular old dude, bro. And then I would see that it would backfire on me. And then to that point, I would go deeper on like just being like more of myself, or like not even more of myself, like really sweet, overly sweet, like fucking complimenting all the time. And like, you know, just being a fucking beta, like, you know, exactly. And it was like, I would do that every single time expecting a different result, and it would never fucking work. And like the other point that I wanted to make, the fuck we were just talking about? now I got dementia.
Yeah, right. I just spread it to you.
Yeah.
We were just talking about like, we're kind of like retaining a relationship. Like pushing girls away.
Oh yeah. The other thing I want to talk about is just how a lot of times, a lot of dudes will get into a relationship, and women do this too, and you'll stop doing, like you said, the shit that initially got them, like going to the gym and shit, and you'll get complacent, and then you'll think it's because, oh, I'm in a relationship and they love me for me. Fuck no, they don't. Fuck no. You know, and then you just get so lazy, and then you get skinny, and then they're like, I didn't fucking fall in love with this person or fall in love with this person, you know? Like,
look, there's no such thing as unconditional love unless it's from like your mother. Love is always conditional.
Oh, that's your phone.
Huh?
That's your phone.
Yeah. Oh, what, did you just grab it?
No, it's ringing.
Oh. Stay on your purpose, boys.
Type shit. On your purpose. This podcast is the purpose.
This is the purpose right now. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Leading by example right now.
Yeah, literally.
God, this is what happens when hoes get involved, bro.
You forgive whatever. Fuck.
Do you remember?
It was about
It was threw this fucking phone out.
We were talking about
like when they're like, you're not doing what kept them in the first place. As far as for me, not going to the gym when you get a girl has never been an issue. Like I've always found that really weird that that's like a thing where you stop working out because you have a girlfriend. If anything, I would say it drives me more to lift. Every time I get a girlfriend, I start fighting again. Because I'm a very paranoid person.
You're preparing yourself.
Yeah. Like I don't think I'll ever get my ass beat out here. But and I don't really fear it. But when you have a girlfriend, if you get laid out in front of your girlfriend, she's single. That's it. So I always have that pressure when I have a girl. I'm like, yo, I have to like start fighting again. I don't fucking like it. I'm gonna make sure right now, actually.
Oh,
yeah, but I don't like it at all. I much rather lift. It's way easier. And I look better. I just get bigger. But it doesn't carry over.
You see, I think for me, because I have gone through it where I don't go to the gym once I'm in a relationship, because the whole purpose was for me to look good. And if I found somebody that already thinks that I look good, I almost get into this mindset where it's like, I already look good enough, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, you just kind of like
fake off.
Pretty much. But at a certain point, I always snap back and I'm like, the fuck? Like now I'm like hella small and then I start getting back to my shit. And luckily, you know, when it comes to the gym, it's a lot easier to regain what you already had and to maintain your shit than to build it from the scratch.
It takes half the time.
Yeah.
Whatever it took you to get it. If it took you a year to build it, you'll get it back in like 6 months.
Honestly, for me, it's a lot fucking quicker.
When you're black.
Yeah, when you're black, like it takes me like maybe a month.
It takes you a bowl of oats.
Nah, like if I spend a month just eating a lot and working out, bro, like I'll look just as good as I did in my peak, bro. Like it's kind of crazy. But yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely it's so common that guys do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I never understood that.
I mean, women do it too. Like usually, like when they have kids and shit, though.
Yeah.
Like they'll just stop taking care of themselves.
Yo, I don't understand that. Like girls get out of shape when they're in a relationship, or they stop eating as much. Really fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like, even if they have the pressure of like keeping their man, I don't know what it is. I guess it's a lifestyle change where they're not like sitting at home all day, you know, and like just raiding their fridge, shit like that.
Yeah.
They usually lose mad weight or they gain mad weight if like that's something they struggle with. If like being skinny is something they struggle with, they gain a lot of weight because they start eating out with their boyfriend and like they get fat. But if they have trouble like keeping weight on, it's just because their like schedules change because they're dating. So that's definitely whack. They should sign a contract. Be like,
did you see that video of the guy that was like every 10 pounds that she gains, she loses 10K in her alimony?
That's right. Yeah. Every 10 pounds she loses is 10 girls that I cheat with.
Okay.
That's it. Anyway. Well, all right. So we got that. All right. Yeah, I guess that was standards. That was a tangent. All right. So let's talk about how to ask a girl out. Like, we're not... Fuck that water. Or the cap's on. So we're not talking about cold approaching, like, you know, just asking her to like get with you or whatever. Like, yo, you've been seeing this girl for a minute. You're pretty sure she's the one. How do you solidify it?
Oh, you mean like asking a girl out as in
like
to be your...
ask her to be your... ask her to be your girlfriend.
Okay.
The key to asking a girl to be your girlfriend... Don't. You don't. That's her job. You don't. Yeah, you don't. Yeah. You don't tell her like, oh, I want you to be my girlfriend. No. If you're seeing a girl enough, she'll eventually hit you with the what are we?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think to that also is sometimes you'll have to ask, but it's because she pretty much asked you to ask because, you know, like they'll give you like the whole entire fucking blueprint. And then like all you got to do is just be like, all right, like.
Officialize.
Yeah. You know, like I know for me, it was maybe like three months or something before I asked Shorty to be my girl or whatever. And like, oh, that's my car again. Cat.
I was asking, you're fucking ruining everything.
Type shit.
Bullshit.
She do this every single time.
God damn it, no.
Yo. When I was in North Bar, I went to Harbor Freight and I literally saw a grown... Huh? No, I saw that too, but I saw this like big ass kid. He had to be at least 18 and he was doing that. He was like, Mom, come here. Like...
For real.
Get over here.
I said machete because that's where I got the machete that the cop found me with. $3.50 at Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back.
Yeah.
All right, so how to ask a girl out. You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, we went over that. She'll eventually hit you with the "What are we?" convo, or she'll just give you a bunch of subliminals, and at that point, then you just be like, "Yeah, like I'd be down.
Yeah,
we could date." You just go from there.
Also, like my question would be like, why would you ever? I mean, like unless like that's really what you want, like you want to like just make it a thing. But also, like, a lot of dudes don't even, like, really care. Like, you just want the one person and then call it a day. Like, it don't matter if, like, y'all are dating, married, whatever the fuck it is. Like, you just kind of want a bitch, you know?
Well, that's because you can't. She'll eventually leave if she doesn't.
Yeah.
That brings us to retaining.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Yeah, so, I mean, as far as asking her out, you vetted her. It's like... okay, this is the girl you want. I could go into like the whole vetting process.
Body count below 3.
I would have to like honestly take notes for that and like get my thoughts together because that's a big deal when you're really vetting a girl out. You cannot casually date. I've made that mistake. I'm saying you can't just be like, yeah, I like this girl. We get along. She's my girlfriend. It's way deeper than that.
Yeah.
If you build something on a bad foundation, it's going to fall. You have to have it. Like, you need to be 100% sure because I'd rather be alone than in some shit that you don't need to be in.
Yeah.
So that's a whole, maybe we'll do a podcast with that another time. But yeah, so make sure she's the one before you even think about bringing that up. And then you got to set the standard off the rip. You have to be like, okay, like this is what I expect from you. Like, don't, like anyone you've ever fucked with, blocked. I don't want nobody in your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no reason you should be texting other men. You better be obese or gay or both. Shit like that. You got to set it off the rip. Because what happens is when you start dating a girl and you don't really know what you're doing, you start to find things that bother you way too late. And then when you try to cut it like 3 months in, she's like, well, this was never a problem before.
See, now, like, it would be amazing if I heard this type of shit.
Oh, like before you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo. You have to know. And look, if you haven't dated before and you like never, you're not going to get it your first try.
Yeah.
You're not. You could you can marry the one girl you date. But as far as like nailing a perfect foundation off rip, it won't happen the first try. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
But you could at least give it your best shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you try to nip things really fast. Don't let things build up for sure. Yeah. But all right, I think that covers how to ask a girl out.
Yeah.
So now, bringing us to when the girl asks you, Don, you're so handsome and you have such a nice beard and tattoos. And 5'10" is actually a really good height. And I don't think you're short at all, you know? And your car is so nice and your smile.
Buzz cut, amazing.
What are we? Mm-hmm. And then I turn to her and I'm like, Shaniqua, I'm not wiping you up, bro. Mm-hmm. So how to keep it casual. That's what we're bringing it to.
Okay.
So say you don't want to date a girl. She's a hoe, but you enjoy her company and, you know, you like having her around. The sex is great. You don't want to be like, yo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few things you could do. I'm not an advocate for lying. I basically, what I do when I'm want to keep it casual with someone, be like, yo, like just at the point in my life that I'm at right now, I'm not really like in a position to date because I just have way too much going on for myself right now. Like I don't have the time. And And I would feel like I'd be doing you a disservice if I was dating you because I'll never be able to give you the attention that somebody else could give you. So I'm not like looking for that, but I really enjoy your company and I really like having you around. So I understand if, this is not what you want. That's fine. Maybe sometime in the future, once I just get everything together, I would definitely consider dating you, even if you're not. Just say that. Because then you got to give them a little, you know.
Yeah.
You just tell them, I will never date you. They're just going to be like.
Yeah, they're not going to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. Or they might, but as soon as they get someone else, they're gone. You got to just be like, yo, like, basically not right now, but it could
But
happen.
to that point, though, that's why when you're dating around, you should have a roster. Because bitches like come and go like that. And if you want like to consistently have some, you always got to have some on deck ready to go.
Right. Without incriminating myself. Having more than 3 girls is basically a full-time job. You shouldn't have a roster more than 3 girls unless you have nothing going on for you. But if all you're doing is running through girls, you're a fucking bum, to be honest. Like, you should really be focused. I don't have time to date 3 girls right now.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, I couldn't invite a girl over. It's like, okay, so what? I see them each once a week.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm out Friday. I'm out Saturday.
Yeah.
I work Monday morning. So like, start of my week. I don't want to have a girl over Sunday. It's like, okay, during the week, like that's how I spend my nights. Just like after you hit like once, to be honest, or once or twice, you're just like,
it's not special no more. I already got it.
Yeah. So it's like for having 3 girls, like you got to be a fucking sex addict or something.
Yeah.
2, great.
Yeah, 2 is good.
2's good. 2's really good. And 1 is cool too.
The only thing about having 1 is you have to be able to limit interactions. Like what was the topic?
How to keep it casual.
How to keep it casual. My thoughts on that really are just limit interactions and, almost this guy, he just gets free gut all day.
Another one.
Yeah. But limit interactions. Like make it known without having to say it that, you're not willing to invest that much time into this person. Like you'll call them every once in a while or you'll text them fucking every couple of days or something. But don't be texting them every single day, all day long, and then be like, I'm not really looking for it. Like you said in mad mixed signals.
My bad. I just answered. I let her say hi and yo, that was mad funny.
What the fuck?
Oh, sorry.
What, is that one bad?
Calling me right now. Huh?
Is that one bad? That's good. Pretty good.
Yeah, so as far as keeping it casual, it can work. It usually does because what happens is most girls are so used to being lied to. If you just keep it genuine with them, authenticity is king. And if you build everything on authenticity, it can't crash and burn because
100%.
you never lied.
100%.
If she ever turns around and was like, well, motherfucker, you told me that. I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, I never said that once. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, like you're mad at yourself,
Yeah.
Authenticity is king. And girls are so used to being lied to that if you're just genuinely honest with them, you'd be surprised of how well they react. Because it's truth. It's like they've never had a guy tell them like, yo, like I'm not in the right spot right now. They've always just had like, yeah, like I fuck with you, like, and then they get cheated on, whatever.
Yeah.
Or they get like a half-assed relationship. So just be authentic, and then it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about the rest. We don't have time to lie.
Yeah.
It's too much of a headache.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's Lying is, I'm not going to say it's ever fine, but high school, like, yeah. But once you're like an adult and interacting in the world, there are a lot of things that you got to cut out, and lying is like definitely one of them.
And there is certain lies that I don't want to say they're okay to tell. A lot of girls know things and they don't want you to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, all the time, like, so how many like girls do you fuck a week or something like that? Because like at this point, like they know we're casual and they'll ask me that. They don't actually want you to tell them like, oh, Monday I had this one, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday.
Yeah.
But they don't want to hear that. I say it's just like, I only fuck boys. And then they'll just like, they'll laugh and stop asking questions. Like, obviously it's a joke,
Yeah.
And they're like, all right. You just gotta throw them off.
Yeah.
They don't want to know that shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. They just want to see what you're going to say. Yeah.
Just
throw them off.
Boys.
Say some absurd shit. I only like boys.
That's crazy.
That's it.
Again, that's white boy. White boy.
Yeah, you can't say that as a black
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
And they'll just be like, Tyrone, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's how we keep it casual. Our last topic, I feel like this has been our longest podcast.
Yeah. As long as fuck.
Retaining them after, you told them like, yo, it's casual. The key to retaining them, you don't.
Type shit.
They could last a while. They will eventually be like, okay, he's not going to date me. This is it. I need to go find someone who like actually will love me. And then they'll leave. The problem is with these motherfuckers, like all these red pill people, they jacked at their red pill. And then a girl tries to leave and they freak the fuck out. You have to be if you're genuinely not okay with her leaving, then you really need to evaluate yourself and understand that you are not physically and emotionally able to be running through women because you're going to be an emotional mess. Every girl that I'm casual with, if they text me, they're like, I can't do this anymore. I'd be like, it's been real, A lot of guys say they want to run through girls and then that happens. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait. That's not what I meant. No. So you have to be okay with them going because it will happen. They will not stick around forever. You guys are not married. Because even when you're married, they will not stick around forever.
Yes, sir. Now to that point, with retaining, depending on where your moral compass lies, a lot of girls, they'll say, I can't do this anymore, and they'll go actually find a boyfriend. You will 100% still be able to slide into some shit afterward if you were an imprint. If you were an imprint, and we'll get into it on another podcast, but if you were an imprint and you like really like, are just...
You just fucked her physically and emotionally.
Exactly. She will always kind of let you like, come back, bro. Like even if she's in a relationship. So even though she'll be gone, she's never really gone,
Bro, I was, when I was in college, me and my boy Kevin, we started seeing these two girls and they were roommates. We used to just like go to their house. We'd just be like cracking them.
Yeah.
Kevin is like a 6'4" black man, and he was fucking this like little skinny white girl. I spoke to the girl I was with like not too long ago, and I was like asking her, I'm like, yo, like, does so-and-so miss Kevin? She was like, yo, she says it all the time. That's the only man I'd leave my boyfriend for. And shit like that, I'm like, bro, that's why the body count matters. Because they've been imprinted way too many times. I don't want to go on this tangent.
Yeah.
But it matters because of shit like that. they're usually always attached to the man they lose their V card to also. They can't help it.
Yeah.
Terrifying. About the truth.
Shit.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
That's why you gotta be waiting at high school graduations.
That's right. That's right.
Even yeah. And you know what's funny though also is this whole kind of going after younger girls thing. Like whenever I see people talking about Leonardo DiCaprio going after a 25-year-old, is that bitches be losing their V card at like fucking 14 and fucking all throughout high school. So there's no
don't let me have it though.
There's no safe options for you, bro. So like you can't try to find like a young bitch trying to like see if she has no body.
At least it's not that bad when she's young. But the thing is, like, everyone goes to college now.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're gonna date like an 18-year-old or whatever, or a 19-year-old, and then she's gonna go to college.
Yeah.
That shit ain't gonna work.
Yeah, no.
You know? No. They don't. It's. I don't think it's because guys find younger girls more attractive. I think they're just more attracted that they're able to leave a bigger impression on them. It's the same reason why girls like guys they can control, and that's why they date certain motherfuckers, even when like the better looking guy is like also an option. It's because they can leave an impression on them. And those guys will usually like be emotionally attached. Guys feel the same way when they date a younger girl, and it's like, I could convince her that salt is pepper and she would just listen to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what the attraction is.
It's possible. I think that it's, for me mainly, it's just the fact that I'm hoping that nobody has already touched it.
Well, that's the reason why they're more impressionable. They haven't been.
Yeah.
And if they have been like, you know, they have like a few bodies, it's by like little boys, you know. These guys are like teenagers.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they really cracking them down? Like, no.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I think that's where it stems from. But yeah, I think that covers it all. We did retaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The way you retain is you don't. You just have to be very okay with them going.
Yeah.
And keep it what got them there. So if you guys like went out once in a blue moon, cool. If you guys didn't really go out like that and she just came over, keep it like that. Don't change shit. Because obviously she's been coming and she knows the deal.
And something that should be noted to that is if you met your girl at the club, you shouldn't, it's going to be hard to pull the bitch away from the club because like that's where you met her. And it's going to be like kind of like, well, you met me at the club then, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
You can't tell a girl shit when that's how.
Yeah.
If you met her as a whore and then she starts doing whore shit, you can't tell her anything because she'll always revert to like, well, you knew I was like this when you met me.
Exactly. And that's the fucking line that they used to.
Yeah. Yep. That's why, you can't date casually.
Yeah.
You cannot date casually. I just want to leave it on this note. Don't date a girl if you wouldn't want your daughter to be like her.
Yeah.
That's a good rule of thumb when you're choosing.
Yeah.
So, all right, this is a long-ass podcast.
Long-ass podcast.
Yeah, I feel like I've been here for 3 days.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we covered a lot of shit.
That's a lot of stuff.
Hopefully you guys got something out of that. If you didn't, not really my problem.
Yeah.
Or Niles.
Yeah.
Again, you guys are inferior to both of us. I have no respect for you.
Yeah. I'm a Sigma, you're a Beta.
That's right. You're all Beta cocks. Purebred alpha male.
What color is your Bugatti?
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
All right, but yeah, appreciate y'all watching this episode of the White Line.
Oh yeah. All right, that's a wrap.